Okay, stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's remain standing.
Sure.
Just say a silent prayer. Today is D-Day.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
And I saw the programs were on TV last night for the D-Day. And when you look at the crosses, unbelievable. So,
Okay, moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Maybe have Jimmy give some comments now. Jimmy, maybe ask you to talk a little bit about that. Okay, welcome, everyone. This is the Mahoning County Commissioners Board meeting, number 23. It is Thursday, June 6th at 10:06 a.m. And we will begin with public comments, and I'd like to introduce Mr. Steve Caraway. He represents the County Commissioners Association, and he is with us, and we're very honored to have you here today, sir. Welcome to Mahoning County.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Podium is yours. Absolutely.
Steve, are you from the area or are you from the Columbus area?
Work in Columbus, but I am from Adams County, which is, I was telling the commissioner earlier, is all the way down on the other part of the Ohio River,
Sure.
about 60 miles east of Cincinnati.
Yeah,
And I'll be
nice.
back there in about 4.5 hours after we're meeting today. But one of the really cool things about my job is I get to spend time in Ohio's counties. And as you know, Ohio is a very diverse state. It's a big state. And there's a lot to do and see and people to meet. And so it is an honor to be here today in beautiful Mahoning County. I was in Monroe County last night and drove up. And so you have a wonderful county here and really appreciate the great relationship that your association has had with all three of you for a very long time. So CCAO, as you know, was founded in the 1800s. We're one of the oldest associations here in Ohio, and we really work for them, whether it's public policy, whether it is service corporation programs, deferred compensation, et cetera. So we're here for you, as you know, anytime you need us. You reach out and hopefully we're able to deliver for you. But the purpose of my visit today is last year, we launched a recognition program for our members throughout the state. And it just so happens that all three of you have 10-year service awards or were qualified for the 10-year service awards. So on behalf of our board of directors and your fellow colleagues throughout the state, I want to say congratulations and thank you for your service to the fine people of Mahoning County all of this time. And I always joke that, you know, you'll see the award in a moment, but it starts at 10, and for every 10, you get another brick to stack on top. Okay. So with that being said.
Another brick on the wall.
There we go.
Just another brick on the wall.
So
Thank God he didn't say another nail.
So so there's Carol's.
Oh, thank you.
that's Karen.
Was that heavy?
Yeah, if you wouldn't, I didn't open them for you, but there's also a keychain in there that should have on the back of it your year that you started.
So we're gonna open them?
That's-
Please, yeah.
Okay.
I like the
Keychain.
keychain.
Oh,
There you
wow.
go. CCAO.
It's beautiful.
Oh, my God, it's just nice.
That's
Oh,
good.
my God, look at that.
It's like
Pyramid.
like the diamonds that we.
How cool is that?
How neat is this?
Oh, it comes apart.
It's
Yeah,
got our names and everything.
Gotcha.
Look at that.
Wow,
Well, that's neat.
this is really different.
All right. Wow.
Stacks.
Very, very nice.
bottom brick. And
Yeah.
again, for every decade you serve, Commissioner, you get another brick.
I don't
Okay.
know.
So-
Well, that means everybody gets another 10 years before you get out of here. now.
I'll have my second 10 years if I get elected in November.
There you go. There
It'll
you
be
go.
20 for me.
There's a commissioner for Northwest Ohio that has 4 stacks. He's at 40+ years. He's
Well, years-
retiring.
Can I tell you
I gotta
what,
meet
years
him.
ago, many moons ago, they would stay here they'd stay here forever, almost. They never change, I mean, it wouldn't be a 2-term and 3-term you're out. It was more like 7, 8 terms. They'd stay their whole career would be, and they were good at that point.
Well, thank you.
Thank
again.
you.
Well, Steve, thank you very much for, taking the time and making the effort to do
Yeah,
that.
to come
It's very
down and
nice
bring
to
us-
sit
Absolutely.
down and,
Absolutely. Well, I think I'll be here for a while, so we'll grab a photo later and
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll watch all three of you work.
right.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
let's do it. Can we do it now?
Yeah, these are, you have to hold these?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, grab your brick.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, where's your brick?
Well,
Anthony, grab your brick.
I can hold it like that. I'm good. Oh, yeah, I got you.
Thank you very much. How do you want us to?
This will be right,
Right here?
fit right here.
Make sure my turn is straight.
You're all.
It's a good picture.
Thank you.
very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
I didn't notice. It really looked.
Well, that's certainly a unique moniker. Love that. Thank you very much again.
Well, I never thought I'd get anything for being old in here, but I guess I did.
You get lots of things. You get bald, you get gray, you get a
get
lot
fat.
of things.
Get wisdom.
Wisdom. is
Yeah,
very
that's
much-
true.
Experience, wisdom,
No, I always got to come on the platform.
and you actually know the system.
Yes,
And you get religion quick.
yes.
All right. Again, thank you very, very, very much. Okay, anyone else? Public comments?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Would you like to?
Nope, that's all I need.
Oh, okay. We had an interesting meeting last week, didn't we? Okay. All right. Nobody else? All right. Carol, motion?
Motion to approve the approval of the previous minutes of board meeting number 22, Friday, May 31st, 2024, and approval of bills for payment.
Second,
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedio Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes. Journal entry number 1.
Motion to approve journal entry number 1.
Second,
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedio Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes. Agreements, letters A and B, and both of those are the engineers and Mr. Kawhi.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
A is an agreement with Ohio Machinery, DBA Northern Ohio Peterbilt for repairs to our vehicle number 80. And the estimated amount of $5,810.87. B is an agreement with Cornerstone Electric for replacement of traffic signal detection system in the amount of $35,400. That was done at Shield Van Road. That item failed, they had to be replaced. These are both non-general.
Thank you, Rick. Motion?
Motion approved number 2, agreements A and B.
Second,
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedio Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes. Change orders 3A. Rick? Engineers again.
Change order number 1, final Redicate excavating your slip repair project. Decrease amount of $2,482.50. Again, non-general.
Okay, thank you. Carol?
Motion approved number 3, change orders A.
Second,
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedio Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes. Resolutions?
Motion to approve resolutions number 1, additions.
Second,
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedio Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes. We have resolutions, letters A through K, and we will begin with letter A, and we have Eric Barrett here and his wonderful staff. Eric, would you want to come forward?
Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having us today. So we've been working for 3 years now, Tim, and several folks in the prosecutor's office to renew the lease. So the land was the old farm, and 446 cut off the corner where we are in the state patrol. And the commissioners own the land, of course, and we own the building. So when we did those transitions to Mill Creek Park and those kind of things, that was in the middle of that process. But this was approved the last time, the year before I was born. So it's been a while. You can tell all these little gray hairs. So we appreciate having the site, being able to serve the county through those operations. We brought a few folks with us. So if you introduce yourselves real quick,
Sure.
Some of our staff and our interns. So as part of the cooperative agreement with federal, state, and county, we're able to have all 3 of these interns. We have a couple more actually this summer because of some changes in staff. That it's through a big grant we have that we're out in all the schools, almost all the schools in the county. There's a need based on some assessments because of the pandemic. But these ladies are teaching classes, day camps in the schools. We're shooting off rockets. Nobody got hurt too bad the last time. And engaging as many people across the county as we can. So I'll let them introduce themselves real quick.
So it's not because you're getting old and you need more help, So.
No comment.
Just growing so much and teaching, right? My name's Alex Kennedy. I'm a 4-H youth development educator in Mahoning.
And Alex focuses on our urban populations.
My name's Cassidy. I'm a student at Ohio State main campus. I'm studying psychology and education.
Good.
My name's Megan. I'm a student here at Youngstown State University, and I'm studying education with special ed.
Good deal.
Hi, everybody. My name is Reagan Alsep. I'm a senior at Ohio State University studying community leadership, extension, and community engagement education.
Very good.
Very nice.
So just some of the folks we're housing in this fine building. And we're actually finishing the next couple of days, the siding that you so graciously helped us with as well. So our building is going to be not an eyesore anymore in Canfield, complete the siding and then a roof replacement very soon as well. So with this lease comes all these improvements that we're trying to cost share as much as we can and sharing those expenses with the commissioners. So we really appreciate that.
Good.
Tim has
Tim?
it.
We have a resolution, and sure enough, the original lease was on December 11, 1973. And it
A few days
expired.
I remember.
Technically, it expired on November 30th, 2023. We've been working on this. As a matter of fact, Mark Diapolito was involved in this, and Mark was here earlier as we worked our way through, because it was a little bit unusual. You don't see a lot of situations where you have land owned by one party and the building owned by another party, and just trying to work through all that. And ultimately, though, we do have this new lease. It is with Ohio State University. The prior lease was with Department of Administrative Services. This lease is for a period of time from December 1, 2023 until June 30th, 2025, with 10 successive renewal terms of 2 years each. So there's 20 years worth of extensions on here. That'll happen automatically. The lease payment's $1 a year. Ohio State will continue to take care of the building, responsible for the maintenance and repairs. And ultimately, 20 years from now, I guess somebody else can figure out how to extend it again and what would be involved. But I would point out that I was very particular about this and made sure I have the Ohio State University and just.
Glad you did that.
Good deal.
I might still be here in 20 years.
Eric will still be here.
Well, it's fun. I was involved in that
He's
BFI
young.
agreement, settlement of the landfill back
He's
in
young.
the 80s. And we did a 30-year agreement at that
Yes.
time. And I thought, well, when we basically agreed to that, I got that deal done. It was like, well, I'll never see, the end of that. But we've already changed it a few times. That 30 years is already gone and we have a longer lease. So you never know. I mean, Eric's probably right. He probably won't still be here.
I will be 70, but hey.
You'll be.
Hey, you could do it.
Yep.
I'm a
You'll
testament
be
to
a master
that.
gardener volunteer.
And I was
Jimmy,
actually
you'll be here
here
to fit that.
working in the planning commission when that was done and they platted that property out.
See that?
You know what,
Wow,
that
that's
12/11/73 on 12/7/73, I got my driver's license. And I was able to drive because when unlike today, where young people don't even care if they get a license anymore. I mean,
Really?
we couldn't wait to the minute we
Second.
turned 16 to get our license. And you had to take driver's training to be able to get to the 16. And it didn't fall quick enough for me to get my license the day I turned it. So they had other companies you could go get a certificate. And I remember, because I had to save $40 to pay to go to a private school to get my driver's training certificate to be able to get my license on 12/7. And I was the first one in line to get my driver's license the day I turned 16. So pretty cool. Because I already bought my first car, 1966 Pontiac Tempest. And I had it sitting in the driveway and I'd already driven it around a block about 10 times, and all my friends' mothers would call and say, Joe, my mom's first name was Emma-Jean. They all called her Joe. Joe, did your son get his license? We just saw him driving around a block. And so the keys got taken off of me, until I turned 16. But good memory of
Let me tell you what.
December of 73.
Today, everybody must get their license.
Yeah.
So that was back in the day.
Legally get it.
You need to legally get your license.
Dave, did you have your platform shoes on when you went to take your?
No,
Come on, what was
I was
your
only
attire?
16 then.
Oh,
I was
come
only
on.
16 then. That was
John Travolta over here.
that was when I was 18 in high school. They wore those bell-bottom pants, big shoes.
Hey, those are back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It was great.
Everything's
Great
in
clothes.
again.
those were the disco days.
All right. All right, Audrey, you want to do letter B?
Yes, this is a resolution to perform roof repairs and replacement by Bulk and Sons for the Mahoning County Board of Developmental Disabilities under the interlocal purchasing system TIPS contract, an estimated amount of $312,033. And that is coming from the DD board.
Okay, thank you very much. Letter C, Jen?
This is a resolution to donate $5,000 to the United Way to be used for the victims and tenants of the Realty Building due to the explosion.
Thank you. Very important. Letter D, Convention and Visitors Bureau. Megan.
Morning, Commissioners. Letter D is a resolution of sponsorship in the amount of $1,500 to Boardman Community Baseball. They are holding the District 2 Little League tournaments July 11th through the 15th for 10U, 11U, and 12U. And then letter E is a resolution of support of $2,000 to the Butler Institute of American Art. They have a new exhibition coming in July. This is a really cool new one. It's a hands-on exhibit for those who are visually impaired. So usually you're not allowed to touch things at the Butler and they, keep you away from things. Now, this is a totally hands-on, a lot of field trips will be going to see these. So it'll be a really cool thing.
Nice. Thank you. Letter F, Engineers. Rick?
This is a resolution approving the one obligation fee, $2,550 to Davy Tree Expert Company for tree cutting services. This was an emergency repair. Tree down.
Thank you. Letter G, JJC Grants. Hey, Lord, good morning. Good to see you.
See you all. This is a resolution to accept and approve the grant application to the state of Ohio Department of Youth Services for the tentative reclaim fiscal year 2025 allocations for programs in the amount of $1,662,944.18 with no match required.
Oh, that's
Thank you.
great.
Very nice. And letter H, Sanitary.
Jim?
Morning. This is a resolution for approving the agreements with American Structure Point International LLC for professional engineering services for the Meander wastewater treatment plant expansion design improvement number 543 in the amount of $5,653,300, and it's non-general.
Okay.
Letter I, we have a resolution for declaring it necessary for public use to appropriate and acquire 2 permanent easements and 1 temporary easement for certain parcels of property for the construction and operation of sanitary sewer pump station Force Main and Gravity Sewer, known as New Middletown Force Main and Pump Station Improvement 501. Letter J is a resolution resolution of necessity to purchase one Ford Explorer XLT four-wheel drive from Fred Morton Ford for an estimated value of $43,170. And letter K is resolution approving the moral obligation payment of $2,942.50 to Sandra Mendel Foreman for professional services related to a professional matter or personal matter.
Okay, thank you very much. Do I have a motion?
A motion to approve number 2, resolutions A through K.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Yes. And for the good of the order, any elected officials or department heads would like to comment? Anybody on the screen?
You guys. I know that with the downtown explosion, there's been a lot of questions on what's going on and with different events that we have planned downtown. So I just wanted to, it's not official yet, but I know the Simply Slavic Fest is due to be held next weekend. So I do know that they are planning to hopefully go forward with that. It's going to move locations. So as soon as we have additional information, they had a meeting last night at 5 o'clock. So we should have additional information today or tomorrow of the location change, but just know something positive coming to downtown that is still going to happen. And we'll put out at the CVB the additional information and any changes, but just to let you guys know that they're planning on still having.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else?
I just want to say for Eric and everyone, appreciate all the good work you guys do and how far you reach, throughout the whole Mahoning County. And you guys do a great job. It's good to see college students when almost graduating or graduate. Here and working within the valley and helping those around. Alex, I appreciate everything you guys do with the kids. I think when you invest in kids, you invest in our future, and we appreciate that. And I know the commissioners are very adamant about funding Ohio State Extension and your needs and have met, a lot of things over the year. I think it's one of the good dollars that do come from the general fund. It's not a mandate, but even when times were hard, they still stuck with Ohio State Extension.
We'd make it a mandate.
Yes, and so I do appreciate that. And CCAO, thank you. I love the awards for the commissioners. I think that is so nice to recognize them for their maturity and the strength that they bring to our county.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jimmy, would you, being our veteran who has served in the United States forces, would you like to talk a little bit about D-Day?
I'm honored to be able to say something about D-Day.
Please.
On this day, 2,500 of our military soldiers gave their life. They gave their life to save the world. And that's what they did. And that's why they're known as the greatest generation. So here we are 80 years later. We're still saving the world. But it's not a big engagement that we don't recognize or take the time to recognize. If you think about China, Russia, North Korea, Ukraine, Taiwan, everything's kind of coupled in where are we going? But the United States is there to continue that we have freedom throughout the world. So think about today. And there's no special reason why we call it D-Day, other than it was a day for it to happen. So that's very significant when we think of D-Day. What's it really mean? It was the day that we decided that we were going to make sure freedom would prevail. Thank you.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Cicely and friends, thank you.
So quickly, if you watched WFMJ last night, you saw Gottfried Anderson on there. His wife is one of our Master Gardener volunteers. He just turned 100 and he was there at D-Day.
Yeah,
So
I saw
there is
that.
somebody, I think there's 200. So he's one of those that was there that day. So he lives in some assisted living right here in Youngstown. So if you ever want to visit someone like that or have him to a meeting, that'd be a great remembrance as
That'd be
well.
nice.
100 years
Just
old.
starting to talk about it
They never
and-
really.
because we don't want to lose history and have it repeat itself for all their sacrifices. And we really have it good in this country.
Yes, we do.
And too much is taken for
Craziness.
advantage, and things you never thought would be out there are. But our freedom is here, and that's what's so important.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Very well said,
Thanks,
sir.
You know what, Jim? It's funny because my sister brought over this little box a couple days ago that she found, going through old stuff at my parents' house. She lives in a house my mother died. After my mother died, she's been there still. And I opened it up and it had a bunch of coins from the Philippines. And there was probably 10 of them. And they were all dated 1944.
Jeez.
And
Just start.
my dad enlisted right after they bombed Pearl Harbor, and he and his three buddies, all enlisted together thinking they'd stay together, and obviously that never happens. And my dad, he always used to make the comment that after he got through a boot camp, that he got shipped to the Philippine Islands and he never set foot on American soil again for three solid years. And so he was there when China occupied the Philippines, and then what was it, Patton that came back and they retook the Philippine Islands. So my dad was there from that entire thing. He was in the Army Air Corps, because back then there was no Air Force. He was the Army Air Corps. He was in the Army, but in the Air Force end of the Army. And so he must have brought back coins because they were all from 1944 in the Philippines. And his sister Dee's husband was killed in the Battle of the Bulge in Belgium. And, so we always, he used to talk about, family and my dad and his two brothers and everybody was in the service, so, everybody went in and the 40s, my dad's youngest brother, Billy, he came back with tuberculosis and died when he was 26, after he got out of the service. And, but, you're so right. I mean, at the age today, my dad was born 1920, so he'd be 104, if he was still alive today. And so it's so sad that we lose that history. In other countries, they do so much to preserve that. When I was in the Netherlands, they have part of Rotterdam that was destroyed from World War II, and they leave it that way because they never want their people growing up, their children growing up, to forget, what happened to them during the war and how many people died and what went on, So it's important for us to honor, all the people, all the veterans as we go forward, whether they're, World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korean War, conflicts, everything that, we remember and we do things to place things in their honor. And thank you and all the veterans for your service. So.
I think all of us had family and fathers that were in World War II.
Yeah.
My dad was in the Philippines as well. He never came back. But he said when they were there, he never talked about it though, until he got older. He never really talked about anything. And then as he got older, he did. And he said it was not a good, it was not good over there for the young people. He said he was training 18-year-olds how to go out on the battlefield, the front lines, and he taught them how to shoot and protect themselves. But you know what? And they did it because they were proud. And what do we have? We're proud of this country. And, as we get into the seasons coming in the political arena and all that, we got to remember that we're all Americans. And we have to look at the issues at hand. And we have to look at people that are in elected position that are teams. Like we are. We're a team of three commissioners. We don't always agree. And we just work through it. But That's how it used to be many moons ago when our families were around. They knew how to work through the disagreements, whether you were in Columbus or you were in Washington. The Ds and Rs or Is, they didn't all get along in their sessions. But when they come out, they were there, that friendship was still there. And this is what we need to start teaching our children, not this divisive attitude that everybody has nowadays. It's horrible. So Jimmy, you're right. We're free. We are in the best country in the United States. America is great and we are great to be here. And so let's say we're not, that's a bunch of hogwash. We are a great country. I would not live anywhere else in the country, but right here in the United States. Why do you think people want to come here? Because we're free. Where could you go anywhere else in the world and be able to do what you do here in the United States? Nowhere. And the young people, because you're here, you have to know that. So look beyond what you see and read and do and this. Look beyond that because this country is great. Mahoning County is great. The state is great. And so is Washington and the federal government. It's just going through a period where things need to change a little bit. But I'm hoping that all these conflicts get resolved and our people come back here and we don't have to deal with that. So that's my spill. And we went to Leonard Kirch yesterday for the graduation. Megan was there. And that's an eye-opening experience every year for me. And it's hard for me to do anything there because I'm overwhelmed because I look at the students that are graduating and I think to myself, wow, God bless them. They were so happy and they had their cap and gown on and the principal, Gina, and Bill Whitaker and the board, I mean, they were all there. And it's just, they go through the whole graduation. And I mean, it's an enlightening experience for me to see how happy and how content and motivated that they are to move on. And I said to them, I says, well, we're going to see you move on and get jobs and get higher education and whatever. And the guy says, I have to relax. I went, okay, I get it. I'm thinking, okay. I said, I understand that. But that was really something.
Nice.
That's all I have.
Nice.
Thank you.
I finished. Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to thank Steve too. Steve, thank you very much for the CCAO. You guys do an amazing job for us. We appreciate the work and the interaction and the information we get and the blogs that go on between different commissioners can ask other counties and different things that, what's available and stuff. And you're always very responsive to us. So thank you very much for coming down. The area you live in, I love it down by the Cincinnati area. It's, I used to go to Cincinnati a lot. It's just a beautiful area.
Waiting on you.
Yeah.
Visit anytime.
I like to. But thank you. And Eric, absolutely, the Ohio State Extension and all you ladies do such an amazing job. Thank you for being interns, because like Eric touched on, it's so important to perpetuate, especially like 4-H and things, so many hands-on things that you do that, we're losing. There's too much, deliver my pizza from 50 feet away because I can get Grubhub and pay double and don't have to walk across the street. To go out to the fairgrounds and all the stuff that to participate in is so rewarding and it's such a great experience. There's so much that there is to be involved with that can consume us. People that say they retired, don't have anything to do. they don't have their eyes open. I mean, there's so much. The people that you have to come down and volunteer and help, the people that assist and get an opportunity to keep their youth by working with all these young people that invigorate us and give you energy and motivation. So, the fields you're in, the schools you're going to are great, and the hands-on and the interaction and teaching and so. God bless you all, and hopefully the internship gives you a good picture of what there is out there, because it's so important to have intern programs. And I'm glad you expanded it, Eric, because it gives more people an idea to be in touch with what they're going to do and really make decisions in their life and their future. It shapes who they are for forever. And it's important to get into a position that you're going to flourish in, because when you enjoy what you're doing, what is it they say? You never work a day in your life. So good luck, congratulations, and welcome. And the last thing I wanted to say is, we still have to, remember and try to help the families of the people that were victims in the Really building that had the explosion a week ago, a little over a week ago. That Caroline is still going in the hospital, going through surgeries, and there's a GoFundMe account. Her and her little girl have, no income now, and they and people can't even get in to get their belongings to be able to, get their checkbook, get their bills, get their credit card, whatever they ran out the door, and and I know, Audrey, that I'm not a snake fan, but I'm an animal fan. I mean, if my dog or my cat was stuck in that building, there isn't anybody that would keep me out, whether it was structurally sound or not. You want me to sign a waiver, I'll sign whatever you want me to do. Get me in that building, because I'm getting a pet that I've had for 10 years or whatever, and I'm gonna save it. So I'm appalled that there's still nobody has come to make sure it's structurally sound, for somebody to be able to go in there and to assess.
They're here today.
I mean, put a bucket truck up against a window, break a window. Audrey's nephew has 2 animals that are still in the apartment building, as far as we know, right? No one's done it. I mean, hopefully they're not dead or haven't perished at this point. I was told that there's other pets there. I don't know that for a fact, but all I know is I got 5 cats and a dog. And if one of them was in that building, it could fall down around me as I was going in to get my pet out. That's all I'll say. So, and if you need me to sign a waiver, I will. But anyway, please try to send something on the GoFundMe to help the people that are going through tragedies in their life that'll probably never end in their life. So. And God bless the poor young man that passed. And, if his family is available to take donations, we would really like to do that as well. So.
Okay. No, I can't agree more with Carol and Dave. I mean, Youngstown, we didn't need this to happen. And it's so unfortunate. It made national news. And thank God there wasn't any more lives that were lost. And, our hearts go out to those who are injured. And of course, the young man who perished. We were told that there are pets that are still in that building. And I just cannot believe the anguish that those pets are feeling, whether they're cats, dogs, or snakes, like Dave said. Do they know to go to the toilet and drink the water? What happens when that water, dries up? And clawing at the door or biting at the door. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just horrible. And like Dave alluded to earlier, I don't know everything that's going on there. And I know the NTSB is involved with that, so they've taken it over. But a fire truck, Youngstown has some of the finest firefighters and the biggest ladders. They could go up to those windows and allow somebody to come in there real quick and get their belongings out. I don't see why that would be so hard. So like we said, do the GoFundMe. Try to help out as much as possible. United Way, Megan mentioned what we've done with that. So that's a great start, but they need help. Eric, thank you for all you do. I'm glad you brought your staff and volunteers. We always appreciate what your program does, and we wish you young ladies all the best, very much. And Steve, thank you for coming. So nice to meet you. Are you staying with us?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
You're coming over to our office. Okay, good.
So with that being said, and I would be remiss, and I know everybody's talked here a long time, so I can't remiss in excluding my father. My dad served in World War II. He was in the United States Navy. He's actually was on 2 aircraft carriers. And I remember him telling me he was stationed in the Philippines for 2 months. And he had some very interesting stories about what went on in the Philippines and around the world. He was in the Pacific. And I remember he used to tell me, he said, Anthony, that aircraft carrier was so huge, but when you're in the middle of the ocean, it was nothing but a little bobber into the water. And he said, you'd have to strap yourselves in bed at night and where they'd sleep because that ship would go like this and rock and roll.
Heavy.
Yeah. So, let's remember those. This is the land of the free, home of the brave. We're very fortunate to live here. I wouldn't be able to be where I'm at if it wasn't for the freedoms that we have here and what everybody fought for. And I think those issues should be taught more in school. I think history is very important. We shouldn't be trying to erase history. We should be trying to embrace it. Either you're going to learn from it or you're not. But I believe we learn from our mistakes. So that being said, Holly, when's our next meeting?
Thursday, June 13th at 10:00 a.m. here in the Commissioners' hearing room.
All right. That being motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficani?
Thank you, everybody.